Chicken Jockey. Actually, I don't even know. Wait, Chicken Jock. Oh, wow. Okay, I got to fix this. Sorry about that. Apologize. We're fixing things right now, guys. I got a new camera set up, so we're doing things live today for the first time. Let's see if we can get this like looking nice and set up and everything like that. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to today's live stream. I think my camera just needs to get panned over. I think I just made it worse. Did I make it worse? I think I made it worse. I made it slightly worse. Let's fix that real quick. Boom. I think that looks good though. A little less headroom, or less less behind the head. We're doing the behind do the stuff behind. How are you guys doing today on this beautiful? Sounds good to me. I think the audio is working just fine. We're going to get some nice chill music started here in a moment, guys. And we're starting a live stream. We're going to start a new render on today's live stream where we're making the chicken jockey from the Minecraft movie. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. It's cute. It's adorable. It's my type of cup of tea, guys. Okay, where's the music at? But if you guys don't know, do !hello inside the chat. Get a shout out inside of the chat. And be like, I love to see who's here and what you guys are up to. So share what you guys are working on as I get some music playing. Today, we're a little late. We're a little slow. But we're right here, all right? I had some stuff, so I had to push the stream. But you know what? You know what's good? Is that we're still made it. We still got it. Sounds like the music's playing. Sounds good. Hopefully, the video is an upgrade. I hope you guys like that. Did update that. Got a new camera with fancy new lens. And I feel like I look more crystal clear. I don't know. I'm just looking at myself up there just as it's going on. And I'm like, look at that. It looks nice and pristine, as it were. But yeah, guys, so today we're doing a new render, as I mentioned, and we're gonna start out by 3D modeling the characters. Now, I don't have the reference image of what we're doing. I do have like these low res versions of it, so I guess we could use that, you know. It's better than nothing. It's actually a WebP file. That's what I just noticed. But let's pull it up. Pull this thing up and then I'll show you guys. So over here is our reference image of what we will be creating today. I probably should convert this to a PNG. Yeah, it looks better and the lights look great. Thanks, man. I'm trying to make it look good. But yeah, so this is the render that we are going to be trying to create today. It's pretty low res. I'm trying to see if I could find a higher res version of something, like if we do chicken jockey and see if we can find some high res photos of this. Can we do some reverse image searching? I don't know if that's possible or not, but this is essentially what we're going for. I like the one where he's smiling. We don't want no angry zombies, okay? No angry zombies for us. It's all gonna be cute and cuddly. Is what we're doing today. Cute and cuddly renders. Now this is a really high res one, but it's more of a square image. Let's use this as our foundation of our reference image, and then we can go from there. We're going to extend it outwards. And today, anyways, we're going to do like some rough modeling. It's another WebP file. So let's open up some Photoshops and convert this thing. But yeah, man. So this will be interesting. Last week I was in NAB. And at NAB, I met some really cool people. So hello to all those people that I met over at NAB. That I got to meet some of you guys there as well. It's always great being able to see you guys in person. A lot of working on visual effects and animation and things like that is a very kind of isolating thing where you're sitting in the room by yourself, often a dark room with no windows, and it's really cool to get out and meet other people that are very talented, be able to talk about some of their projects that they're working on, and so on and so forth. I'm still up in the air of whether or not I want to go to SIGGRAPH yet. That's over in Canada. And that's still, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see when it comes down to it. All right. Like going out of the country can be a bit of a thing. All right. Okay. We're going to download this real quick. Let me save this over into our project directory folders that we have. And then I'll show you guys where we're starting with and where we're going. So to start, let's open up the folders and see what we've got going on here. Inside of our stream folders, I organized everything again, just using our project management setup here. I just downloaded this reference image here to the ref folder. And we're going to save everything into this folder structure going forward on this project, trying to be more consistent with my live streams. I tend to not be consistent at all on live streams because, well, I just let things slide. So today, we're going to try to be better. Hey, Marvin Studios, welcome in. Bargain Productions, welcome in. How you doing today? And Orlando Kaizo, how you doing today? So today is a sculpt day. Today is a sculpt day. 100% is. We're going to start out by sculpting some of these different characters. There is some 3D modeling involved as well, but yes, today is going to be a big sculpt day. I don't know how much we're getting done today, especially since we're starting late today. But we'll get into it. We'll do it. We'll do it. It's going to happen. All right, guys? It's going to happen. Let's open up some Blender, and that way we can make magic happen. We're going to make the magic happen, guys. And it's going to be fun. I do like a good sculpt stream because it's chill. It's laid back. Just turn that music up and just vibe to it as you're going. That is the mentality I like to have. For today, though, we're going to start out by just deleting some of our default items here. And just starting out with a blank slate, I'm thinking we also want to... Actually, you know what? Let's add in a camera. I don't know why I deleted that. We probably do want the camera as like a good starting place of what we're going for. Next up, also, I'm going to add in... Let's see. Actually, let's pull up... I don't know why I closed this as well. But I'm going to open up our stream image here, just our reference image, just so that we have an understanding of kind of what the environment is going to look like real quick. And then from there, I'm just going to add in a cube. Let's scale that guy up. And then we're just going to select the two edges, just because we're going to do a corner back there. I'm going to just grab that, bring that up. Hey, Veeth, welcome to the chat. How are you doing today? Have you recently been playing around with VFX, like inserting CG characters in? Oh, you've been in... Oh, dude, that's awesome. Dude is a legend. You want to sculpt everything in the image? Yes, today we are doing it. I don't care. We're going for currently using a shot found from Action VFX. Hey, shout out to Action VFX right there, guys. Which you guys know. You guys know. They're good guys. They're good guys. All right. So this is going to be kind of our world that we're living in. You know, I don't know too much. I probably could pull up the video to see more of like what that background looks like. But honestly, it doesn't seem too complicated. They've got a few different like beveled edges of squares and stuff like that going on there. So I might just put in some additional edge loops here. I'll do 7 cuts, I suppose. And then let's do the same over here. Just right click that so that way everything is centered. And then, you know, we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to do 7 cuts. And it's looking good, though I probably don't want... Let's make it sure that we're doing squares here. That's looking fine and dandy. And then swapping over to like a face select mode. Here's what's the really cool thing about it. If we then... I think you can select all of the faces that are going to be on the background. And if we extrude them and then scale individual origins, can we not? 1 second. Is it Alt E? Can you extrude individual faces? Yeah, individual faces. And then scaling each one of those down. So Alt E is the answer, guys. And then we're probably going to just bring those out, right? So let's grab that on individual. Let's see, those are all individuals right now. Let's do global normals. Yeah. So if we grab that on the Z-axis for all of these, we're just going to bring them out slightly. Just not too much, just a little bit. And then let's scale each one of those down again, individual origins. We're just treating everything individually to do. And that already gives us kind of like that box effect that's going on in the background. We're just creating like a nice tileable wall in the background. And you know what? Because I'm feeling pretty good about it. Let's just set the cursor over here. And I'm just going to make a new cube that we'll just go ahead and scale down. And we'll just grab this face, honestly. Go all the way up. Just want a little bit more of a corner going on there, guys. Great. Now let's get things started with the save button, guys. Things started with the save button. But yeah, guys, so this last week, I just got back from Vegas, and I'm probably going to Vegas again the next couple weeks because a new movie we're working on is shooting out there. Kind of doing 2 projects at the same time. So just shot something over in Nevada, and then now I'm going on another set to do another thing with the same production company, actually, but they're doing 2 different films. So very busy time right now. I don't think it'll bother the live stream setup, but I'll share some more of those like kind of like behind the scenes moments as they're coming along. All right, let's do 3D work here, and I'm gonna call this project file today's date 04/13, and then we'll just do version 1 on that. Go ahead and save it. Real important part is just making sure you save all the time. Nothing to do with crippling gambling addiction then. Got it. No, not at all. No gambling addiction. Because I can stop whenever I want. See, an addiction is where you can't stop. I can. All right. And because I can, it's not an addiction. I choose to gamble is really is what's going on right now. Okay. All right, we're gonna bevel this edge here, and let's just increase that a little bit more. And then honestly, on everything here, we're just gonna kind of bevel everything a little bit. Just create a little bit more smooth edges around the entire thing. No, yeah, man. Gambling is only an addiction if you get caught. Yeah. So from now, let's go ahead and just place this cursor here in the center, and we're gonna create a new cube. I think if we scale this out, we're trying to really create like the elevated position of that. The fight. What is it? Fighting pin? Fighting square? What do what do they call that? What is that? It's the gambles in my head now. The boxing arena. It was the that thing. Just gonna grab this just because it's gonna bother me that it goes so far down. Rink. Yes, gambling rink. It's the boxing rink, guys. You do gamble when boxing. Like that is a thing, all right? They do that all the time. But that is not what we're talking about here. That is not at all what we're talking about. Let's also look up. I kind of want this chicken jockey. Where's that shot at?
They want me to fight the chicken?
You want to fight a chicken? Okay, what is that though behind it? What is this? What is that, guys? It's like floating almost. Is that a piece of wood? That's just a big piece of wood with like kind of like a metal connection thing. It's a post. Yeah, but it doesn't look like a post. It's just so dark. Am I off on this? What is this? Chicken jockey shot. Give me the chicken jockey. It's too small to see. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out here. Okay. There it is. Wait a second. There it is. That thing. The brightness is low on this too. But okay, that's just a really thick post almost. Just gonna rough this out, and then we can always add more detail to this later, guys. Probably thinking about that size. It's too small. Yeah. Chicken jockey. Thank you, Dino. The chicken jockey. Not yet. That's just a chicken. Let's see. That's pretty good. Oh, you know what? It is off the sides here. Let's just line this up a little bit. I don't want it to be perfect. Otherwise, we could have literally put it exactly on the corner. But I want it to just be slightly off. And then let's grab that whole edge there. And then we're just going to bring that up. Probably about to there, honestly. And what I'm kind of noticing is that they have a bit of beveling going on. That's pretty cool. And then now let's go ahead and add in a few edge loops. And let's go here and let's turn on that. That way you get a little bit of a bevel. Love it. Love it, guys. And then we're never seeing off to the other corners. So really, we just need that one post. Yeah, Minecraft movie proportions are just weird. Yeah, pretty much everything has a different proportion size. Like, that's what I've noticed just from the trailer. And I haven't seen the actual movie, but, you know, dude, how the heck do you pay attention to detail so much? I don't know, man. Am I paying a lot of attention to detail? I didn't. Right now, I'm like minorly paying attention to detail. I'm gonna just bevel that a little bit more because the edges on the outside there are gonna have a bit of a bevel to them. So we're just loosen that up a little bit. That's gonna help. And then honestly, at this point, we're probably just gonna add in some edge loops here and then grab that. We just wanna not make it so perfect. We're gonna do the same to the other side. All right, it's just like loosening it up a little bit. Nice little non-perfect rink mat. Okay, guys? Non-perfect is the name of the game when it comes down to this stuff. Save button. And on this post now, see that corner right there? We have a corner there. And then it's got kind of like these blocks like leading into it. I will say, it does look like the post has faces that extrude out slightly at the top. It's really hard to see, guys. I'm not like even joking with you. I'm like looking at the screen off angle right now because I'm just like really trying to see this crap. Let's work on something a little bit easier that I for sure know exists. Let's grab this whole thing. We're gonna just grab it all and move it a little further out, okay? Because we want a little bit more depth into the background here. And then I'm also gonna add in another cube here. Scale that in. I like this kind of like column like thing that they've got going on here. It's a nice little column that we could put ourselves some torches on. Not proportional editing because I know that's going to hurt me later. Oh, it's using normals, right? Is there a way you could brighten the background? Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. We're going to screenshot this image, all right? I'm going to take this into Photoshop here. I'm going to do File, New Image, and then we're going to say, yes. Oh, that is from the clipboard. Great. And then paste it. And then inside of our image editor here, we're going to use curve adjustment and just brighten that up. There you guys go. We can finally see it. Amazing. I already know we're doing some different things as far as like those walls in the background, but I don't care. All right. We're going to make it better. Our Minecraft movie is going to be better. I don't even know. I haven't seen the Minecraft movie, so that's not a judgment on the actual Minecraft movie. Just FYI. Connor be like, zoom in, enhance. Yeah, dude, that's how you do it, man. That's how you do it in the film industry. Is there's a lot of zoom in and enhancing. Okay, let's just grab that, scale that out, and then we've got ourselves a nice little pedestal column thing. Let's grab that all out a little bit further. And I'm just gonna join that. That way it's its own object. If you want some scale reference from the actual Minecraft models, there's an amazing ad called MC Prep. Oh, well, see, dude. Lego Duck Animations. Bless your heart, all right? we're working on the Minecraft movie. Minecraft movie don't care about scaling, all right? Scaling doesn't matter in the Minecraft movie. Only mattered for you know, the game, which you are 100% right. It's just this is the movie, and the movie we don't care. All right. But I appreciate that. I appreciate the thought. Grab that, move that over here, and that's nice, right? That's nice. That's nice. Is that like a corridor over in this direction? Let's take, I think it is. Let's take this, and we're just gonna delete these vertices. And then it's gonna kind of go off in that direction. So we're gonna just extrude that on the, oh no. Didn't realize it was selecting everything here, so you do gotta pay attention, Connor. And we're just gonna extrude everything from there. No, that's it. That direction. So if we extrude that outwards on the x-axis, we're gonna get ourselves like a separate kind of almost like walkway thing going on. Can't wait till you get to sculpting Jason Momoa. Dude, you know what? You I'm not, okay? That's yeah. That would be yeah. You know, I think we want to leave that to the big dogs. You got to check out Andrew Price's live stream on that, because or Blender Guru, if you don't know who Andrew Price is. He's gonna do that for you. That's part of the donut tutorial live stream set that they're working on, you know. But as far as the Connor Thomas live stream, that's not happening. All right, Connor Thomas is not doing the full Jason Momoa thing. That's a bit of work. All right, let's select the bottom thing here. We'll do cursor to select it, and that's just going to help us in a moment. What we need to do is select all of the vertices here, and if we scale this on the 3D cursor to 0, that's going to flatten everything out. Beautiful. And not that we're ever going to see that, but now that we know it's not there, it's not a problem. And that makes my life a lot happier in the end. Or better yet, filming yourself and inserting yourself into your own chicken jockey scene. Bro, that is an idea. That is an idea that we like. That is a production-worthy idea. Let's do it. Which you don't see that from this angle. We're gonna 3D model this first, and then I like your idea. We're gonna film our own thing. Okay, we got time for this. We got time for this. All right. Look how fast we're modeling this thing. All right, like this is easy stuff. On the real though, how long do you actually think it took the pros, like the professionals that worked on this shot, to 3D model this entire scene? I'm always kind of curious about, like, it'd probably take a lot more time, right? Like I would imagine. And you got iterations and all sorts of stuff. I've never worked on, I've worked on 3D animated films, but I've always worked on the comping side of things. So I've never been part of the whole journey from beginning to end on how long it takes to make these environments. I really would love to one day. Individual origins. I'm just gonna make that go further out. Just bring that. We're just making it puffy, guys. Isn't it like Control F3? Is that the secret button sauce thing? No? Adding modifiers, subdivide surface. I forgot which button it was. There is a shortcut, I thought, for it. Just gonna do all of that. It does make it rounder. Let's see. Just kind of make that work. Oh, that is. I might add another subdivision. Pretty good. You and me both. Maybe for like each individual character model, like a month or 2 at the very least, depending on changes that needed to be made. No way they spent 2 months on a chicken, dude. No way. I mean, I believe you. But that sounds like a lot. I'm going to scale these down on individual origins. That's looking good, guys. To ask a buddy. I have a few friends that work in that world, and I am curious. I'm curious, all right? You have spiked my interest. At a cube, yeah, but feathers, cloth, particles. Oh, you're talking about from beginning to end, yeah. I mean, and obviously, I'm not even talking about animation. Animation's gonna take even longer, guys. Okay, that's good. Let's do like another subdivide. 2 months on a chicken? Dang, I know. That's what I'm saying. That can't be like right. If my numbers are correct, because I get like quoted these things whenever I'm working on projects, I think that it's probably about, I want to say like 3 weeks to make one of these. All right, that's looking nice. I don't even know what that is, but it's looking good, guys. It's looking good. And let's see, that's 4. 4. Select the individual faces. Oh, you know what? These 2 faces. These 2 faces. These... What? What, guys? What? Alright. And then we extrude all of those outwards. And then we extrude them out again. And you got yourself a nice looking something post. Like, that's just how easy it is, alright? I mean, I don't make the rules. Let's bring that down, and then we're just gonna keep duplicating it, so that way we've got a few of those around our rink post thing. Let's line that up a little bit better. It's in the background. We're not even really going to see it. And honestly, we don't even need this one, do we? True. IG or Instagram. It's taken me a week so far to make a basic War of the Worlds tripod. Still unfinished and very crude. Dude, you gotta cut the system. Like, you gotta cheat it. Or, you know, do your own thing, man. Figure out the shortcut codes on that. This is going to be to about right there. IG, I guess. Dude, I don't know, man. Yeah, youngsters think I know what I know all the lingo these days. I barely know what an LOL is, all right? All right, we're going to rotate that. In fact, it's kind of funny because Ben... Who, I don't know if Ben's going to show up today on the live stream, but Ben always is like telling me what you guys are meaning sometimes in the chat. All right, we're going to go here. I'm just going to duplicate that downwards. Yeah, youngsters. Why we got AI. That's what AI is good for, guys. AI is good for telling me what the lingo is. I got ChatGPT. I don't need a, you know, I don't even know. Add a few rings in here. Grab that, and then we're gonna use that. Just kind of get a little bit of sag in there. That's good. Probably the whole thing, honestly, will bring down. LMAO is a Chinese spy. Lamau. Lamau is a Chinese spy. Yeah, I believe it, you know. No, I know what Lamau is, okay? I'm not that out of it, all right? I'm not that out of it. Oh, it is so funny though. I remember. Okay, this may be showing a little bit of my age, although I'm not that old. All right. The first time I ever saw LOL, because LOL wasn't like a thing. I was a kid, but I remember I got an email, because this is before kids had cell phones, believe it or not. I got an email from a buddy, and he said LOL, and I didn't really like. He was saying it like it was more like it wasn't like an actual like laughing at your joke type thing. It was more like no one really does that, LOL. Like, because I was like, oh hey, what if we had to do this thing? And he went, no one really does that, LOL. And I was like, is he laughing at me? Because I didn't know what that meant, really. Like, I didn't know how casual of a joke thing it was. I really just was like, he is laughing in my face. Like, that's like, what does he think is so funny? It's just so ridiculous to look back on that. Back then, you know, I didn't really know. No, I was not born in the 1920s. Thank you very much. Come on, man. Do I look that old? Come on. Save. Hit that save button. I am old enough to know that you have to freaking hit the save button every 30 seconds. How about that? There, you got it. Boom. Roasted. Yeah, no, dude. Texting language was very interesting, because I didn't have a cell phone till I was 17 was when I got a cell phone. I mean, I had like a family phone where it had like paid text messages on it, where, because it wasn't unlimited text messaging, and that I did have for a bit. But you know, it's like you're not playing games on it. Like, I remember, dude. Okay, I remember my mom's BlackBerry phone, where you could play Pong. I think it was Pong, or Brick Breaker. It was Brick Breaker. You play Brick Breaker on, dude, so much fun, dude. Like, that was honestly, I just didn't think that games could get cooler on the phone than that. But they did. Games on phones got cooler pretty quickly. I mean, I remember when Angry Birds first came out. I remember when Flappy Birds first came out. But you guys don't know when Flappy Birds came out. That you don't even know what Flappy Birds is, huh? No, I got that Flappy Birds on lock, brother. I think my best score on Flappy Birds ever was like 22. Like, it wasn't even a high 20. Sad, really. And I hear it's actually coming back to the App Store, which is pretty wild, guys. Wild times we're living in. First ever time playing Temple Run, which I don't even think is like a game that anybody plays anymore. TT Wild stumped you for a long time. What is TTY? Wait, TTYL. Talk to you later? Is that what it is? Talk to you later? Such an old game, Flappy Birds? Yeah, man, it's a little old. Let's scale that down, bring it down in. Hey, great, honestly. That's looking pretty sweet. I'm just going to bevel it up a little bit. Talk to you later, TTYL. I guess the only reason why I would kind of get that like right away is because I don't know if you guys ever watched like Looney Tunes or anything like that, but one of the famous things that they used to do in that was TTFN, ta-ta for now. TTFN, ta-ta for now. Gonna bring that in. We're just gonna get a nice little thingy thing to make it look less rigid, guys. Looking nice. You remember your dad giving a BlackBerry phone when I was 9. I didn't really have much of an interest in phones that age, but I remember a very basic snake that could play on it. Oh, dude, yeah. Dude, that game. That game. Fun, man. That game fun. No, dude, but like most of the time on BlackBerry, I think I was playing, whoops. I took that 90 negative degrees. There we go. I remember playing Brick Breaker. I think that was like just like the most fun game on that device to play. All right, let's set the camera up so that way we've got like a nice camera angle to work with here. Probably something like this. Go ahead and first of all, we'll do vertical split here, and then that way we've got a camera view. And then in our viewport display here, we'll just go ahead and make it so that there's no pass-through, so that way we can actually see what we're doing. Now inside of here, we can then rotate our camera and get everything kind of set up. Thinking we'll do a little bit of a low angle here. And a little bit. Again, maybe change this to a 20 millimeter. We are small and right up on that chicken, guys. Something to consider is that we are on a different angle there. It's like a 50. Can always reposition this later, I suppose, as well. I don't want to see too much of the ground. It's more like that's going to be in the background. Let's do a really rough like thing where the chicken jockey is going to be. All right. So I'm just going to add in a cube here. Hey, Connor, have you seen the Netflix miniseries Adolescence? I did, dude. I did. I watched it literally Friday night. Watched it Friday night, was gaming with the boys, finished gaming, and then I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not ready to go to bed. I'm gonna watch this show that I was recommended. And I watched that Friday night, and I watched the whole thing, all 4 episodes. I was up till 5 a.m. Fantastic. Definitely recommend it. Really loved it. Wait, you're in first episode. Let me tell you how it ends. Just kidding. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but definitely recommend the show to all of you guys. Get a chance to watch it. It's on Netflix. We're not sponsored, but I did really enjoy it. Great. So that cube right there, we're just gonna call this reference underscore jockey. Okay, this is a reference jockey. And create a new collection here. We'll just call it ref and throw the reference jockey under there. Make sure that it does not render. Viewport display options available, so that one is going to be available. We'll select our reference jockey here. That's just going to be our rough placement that we want. Next up, let's create another collection. While we're at it, we're going to make a few different collections. Camera. The kid actor is great in it. From what I've seen, I've been watching it. It's on the list. Dude, that kid actor, whew, phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right. Well, really, the dad and the kid. Insane. Like, really good acting. And you know why I say insane? It's not just acting, okay? The episodes, to all who are not aware, and this is not a spoiler, are the entire episode, whole episode, there's 4 episodes. The entire episode is a oneer. You don't know what that is? It's the camera moving without cutting. There's no cuts in the film. Normally in a movie like 1917 or Birdman or really any other oneer film that's out there, they'll do oneers, but they'll hide cuts, right? So if the camera's passing by a wall, they'll hide a cut there, so that way they can do just like 5-minute segments of acting. In Adolescence, the whole episode, 1 hour long, whether the camera is at their house all the way to the police station or wherever, it's all one take, done completely in one go, from beginning to end, 1 hour. Everybody has it completely memorized, all their lines for the entire episode, and then they did the whole thing. So there's every episode, dude, like it's crazy. Like they'll have like all of these background extras and like people giving lines, and then their cars driving here, and the camera's following them in the car, and then they get out, and then all this stuff. It's like, dude, all of that in one take. Everything completely done in one take. I don't know if you guys know how impressive that is, but normally films will do coverage or something like that. They'll do a scene, and you'll cut between takes for performance reasons. Like, oh, I really like the performance from this take when they said this line looking this direction. But then I really liked this other take of this thing, or they'll do voiceovers, or they'll do all that stuff. You can't do that in Wonders, dude. Like, that's insane. That's insane, guys. You would assume a lot of camera work, how it has rehearsal time. Oh, yeah, dude. I actually want to know how many takes it took them to do an episode. I bet you I could look that up. We're looking it up, guys. Keep the Chicken Jockeey. Chicken Jockeey, guys. How many takes did it take to do an episode of Adolescence? Lessons. Can't spell. There you go. 13 to 16 each episode, 10 times. Wow. Episode 1. Oh, dude, this is the numbers. Episode 1, the take they used was take 2. Episode 2 was take 13. Episode 3 was take 11. Episode 4 was take 16. That's nuts. That's nuts. Honestly impressive, guys. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's a very different way of doing it. But anyway, so that's why when I said like the kid and the dad were really good, like the amount of like work and like takes they would have to do in order to get it perfect, and like the memorization, but then like also like the stress. Like, bro, imagine forgetting your line, like, which happens all the time, forgetting your line, and then later like they would have to cut the whole thing and be like, all right, we're starting from 1 again. Like, that's insane. Films a movie in 1 take, stream when? What are you talking about? Films a movie in 1 take, stream when? What are you talking about? The movie? The dad so far for me is the best. Yeah, dude, the dad's killing. That's great. That's great. Baragon, I was talking about the show Adolescence, or maybe I don't understand what your question is. Okay, so under our camera collection here, we're going to go ahead and create a new empty. We're going to create this new plain empty. We'll just put it right in this area. We're going to call this focus. This will allow us to just set the camera focus to a specific spot. And then you can animate where that empty is in relation to the camera if you want to change the focus. Very useful if you want to have a camera move, but you want to have the focus always on the actor's eyes, which is pretty ideal. Inside of your camera settings, inside of your properties, we're going to go and scroll down to the depth of field option, make sure that's checked. We're going to select focus inside of here. You can select your actor, but I always find that it's a little bit easier to set the focus on an empty and move that around. Talking about when you do a stream where you film something entirely in 1 take. Oh, dude, that would be insane. Don't I do that every week where I film these tutorials in 1 take? Come on, man, give me some credit. That's my thing, guys. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. All right, I'm gonna turn on depth of field just so we could see that over here, just to see how much depth of field we're really doing. Looks pretty accurate to our reference image that we have. And then our actor's gonna be standing right there. Probably lower these torches a bit. And voila, guys, I think that looks pretty good, Obviously, we're doing like a 16:9 aspect ratio instead of a square aspect ratio. So there is that. And obviously, this is a cube, so it's pretty close because all the characters are pretty cubish, but in our particular case, we're going to want to change that. Now, what does the zombie look like when it's dropping out of the air? Here we go. Oh, it's so fast, but okay, so his head is, there's like no neck. Just trying to figure the neck situation out, guys. Let's we're gonna do this number, and then let's create a new image here. Just paste this guy in. Probably do something like that. And then I'm gonna just brighten everything up again a little bit, just so it's a little easier to see. Not really using this for color purposes, it's mostly for a 3D model. situation. I just like to have that. Yeah, the reason why people don't live stream on film sets, though, Baragon, is just because you usually want to try to keep things private until the film actually comes out, you know? Otherwise, it kind of spoils the film as it's coming. But, or as it's being made, and nobody likes that. Nobody likes that, so that's why we usually try to keep things private. They don't even like photos. Most sets will tell you not to take photos on set. So if you guys ever work on a film set, you'll probably get a call sheet, and the call sheet will say no phones or pictures taken on set, and that's just for the safety of the actors and the safety of the production. Make sure that everything is kept secret. Okay, great. Well, we already 3D modeled pretty much our entire environment here. I mean, we're not seeing the roof, we're not seeing the ceiling, so let's see. Let's turn off proportional editing, but okay, that's fine. And then so we're gonna extrude that down. Let's delete the faces on it though. Just delete that vertice. But now let's scale that down. Let's move that over as well. Pretty sweet. It's like a wall on the back side there. Probably then also for that edge, let's go ahead and just line it up there. Just delete that. There we go. Just grab this vertex, extrude that out as well, and then we can just fill in these. That way we've got a bit of a roof just in case we ever need to see it. Well, actually, I don't even know if this roof is accurate. I mean, I'm not doing the whole shot. I guess it goes up pretty high, doesn't it? Kind of extends even further. Probably up about right there. Looking pretty sweet. I like that. Just grab these outside faces here. We'll just go ahead and extrude them and scale them out slightly. I just want to give a nice little ground bevel that we're working with. Don't really need these other corners, so I'm not too concerned about that. And then on the floor, we don't ever see the floor either. So again, not too concerned about that. How long have I been doing sculpting in Blender? You know, actually, sculpting is not one of those things that I have a terribly ton of experience doing. That's why I kind of like enjoy doing it on live stream. It's enjoyable to do. But no, I don't have a lot of experience. A little bit newer when it comes to the sculpting aspect of things. Doing it for a few years, but it's not something that I do all the time, even when I do it. So, yeah. Pull that up, and then what we're seeing now is, so these fire assets will probably use some action VFX, kind of like torches in the background. Not something that we actually have to do ourselves. But let's go ahead and import those just so we have them. And let's also swap over into the Cycles render engine, because everybody knows a really good animated film always looks good in Cycles. All right, Cycles is the move. All right, we don't mess with that EV stuff. Okay? That EV stuff is not for our side. Well, yeah, let's let me pull up Action VFX. What do we got on Action VFX today, guys? Which, by the way, you guys know that's my helicopter shot right there. Let's find our download page. And then let's look for some light sculpting. It's mostly some skin textures here and there. Yeah, I found myself doing a lot of characters recently. Really enjoy it. Super fun. Let's see, free fire assets, small grounds. What do we got? We were looking for some torches, really. That's kind of what we're going for. Ground fire. Probably under not small ground fires, but like small fires. I know I've used some stuff before. No, that's definitely not it. That's the effect or the sounds. What I just typed. Nope. Magic fireballs? Magic fire, guys. That's the answer to our problem. It's a little too wispy. We can color grade it to be whatever we want, which is why I don't really care that it's blue. But in that particular case, it's not moving exactly how I want it to. Probably just look for small fire, and then we can just place it inside of a thing. It doesn't matter. It's looking nice. A little too thick. That's a little closer. That's pretty close. Yeah, I model a few characters on live stream, actually. It's a little too big. I like this. This is the answer. License upgrade required. What? I own these, though, right? 1 second. Let me look at them. I actually own these. I actually already have them on my computer. Did they update their licensing thing? I mean, I could just use my assets that I have on my computer. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the license stuff. I guess I'll have to figure that out. Is there a genre of films that you like to work on, or would like to work on, or in least terms of compositing? You know what's fun to work on is working on stuff for sorry guys for the delay here. I gotta figure out the licensing thing. I know they've been changing this stuff, but yeah, it's a little frustrating. I like working on horror films because there's such a variety of types of VFX shots inside of horror films, and you could do everything from like paintouts all the way to like CG creatures or CG worlds, or different types of environments. I do really enjoy that. But yeah, I don't know. From a visual effects perspective of working, I would say that probably. From a directing, probably pretty similar. I do really like working on horror films. I like dramas. Right now, I'm writing a screenplay to a feature film, and we're in the first draft of it right now, and that's been really fun. And it is I guess it's a bit of a horror. 1 second, let's grab that upwards. We're just gonna make ourselves like a quick flame here, guys. And that one is it's like a dark folklore, Scandinavian folklore. So yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I do enjoy that. Okay, we're gonna call this Fire 1. And now we're going to open up a new window here, okay, guys? Inside of this new window, I'm going to swap this over to a shader editor. I do like to have a second window open. It just makes things a little bit easier when I am making adjustments. And we could either have the shader editor over there, or we could put it inside of here and then have ourselves a nice 3D viewport to view things through. I'll go ahead and put that in camera view, and you'll notice that everything is very dark. That's because we have 0 lights inside of our scene right now. Now, inside of here, we just have our principal BSDF, and that is supposed to be our light that we have. And we're going to go ahead and open up a new image texture. Go ahead and open that up. It's going to load in the 3D work, but I just downloaded the thing to our assets folder. So I'm going to just grab that real quick. Horror does look like the most fun to work on. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I certainly enjoyed it the most. Right now, it's currently set frames to 1, but we can change our start frame to be wherever we want, and we can make that adjustment that way. The other thing to note is that we need to set up our UVs here. Currently, we're using UV, and probably need to select our whole face here. And let's just do a nice do unwrap, and then let's just do smart UV project, unwrap that guy. Now, if we go over into like a UV editor, you'll see that open. We've got our burning debris video that we've loaded in. And that is pretty blank right now. And I think it's because, whoops, let's go back to our layout. I think it's because it's loaded in as a UDIM texture. So we're going to actually, what's that? We'll close that, open up our video file again. Let's find that asset again. Burning, and then let's just make sure in the settings, not going to detect UDIMs, and we're just going to open that image as a video image, which is going to be transparent. Would love to see some behind the scenes compositing reels of those films in particular. Some of the Conjuring movies have some amazing shots. Oh, dude, yeah. I remember one of the first ever horror films I watched was Conjuring, and great film, dude. great film. Scary. And I watched it wearing headphones. Don't recommend doing that as your first time watching a horror film. But wearing noise-canceling headphones is a trip. Okay, great. So this is going to be our frames there. That is frame 1. And it's using our UV textures that are loaded in now. Preview is currently fully black. Why is that? See, that's an sRGB texture, which is totally cool. We're going to use an emission. We're going to actually plug that into the color of the emission. And let's see. I think now we can actually just load that 2K texture. Perfect. And then also, you'll notice that there's a blackness around that texture, and we just need to have a transparent, a mix shader. Just select that in there. Probably swap these two inputs right now. And then the alpha gets plugged into the FAC, the factor. And then that is going to make it so that the fire is the only thing that is emitting light. Now, all we have to do is adjust the strength of this fire, and that's how bright that fire is going to be in comparison to everything else, how much it's going to light up the world. You got to go now. Been fun. See you next time or whenever. Hey, Beargon, thank you so much. And I will be live next week. I know last week I wasn't live, but it was because I was out of town. But thank you for dropping in. I really appreciate it. Okay, great. Let's take this now, and we're just going to duplicate it. Move it over here. I'm going to rotate that like so. And this new one, let's see. It One? Dude, that's also a great movie. It's a great movie. I'm sorry. I had to. Okay. Nobody's been hitting the freaking dad joke button, so I had to make the dad joke myself. I apologize. Okay? Forgive me. Okay, great. That's pretty cool with the lighting there as far as the flames go on that. We don't actually have to call it Fire 1. We could have just called it like Fire or Torch or something like that. We're just basically changing the UVs. And theoretically now, when the video actually plays... Whoops, I probably shouldn't have done that. Let's join these together. Now when the video plays, the fire will actually be moving in the scene. So that's actually really good. It's a very easy way of getting some nice assets into your shots and without having to do too much work. The lighting now, though, I mean, you'll notice that we've got like this really nice kind of like environmental lighting going on here. But to you, the worst horror movies, Scream and Terrifier. Why is that? You not like slashers? Those are both slasher films. The Nun and Annabelle, which are both not slasher films, which are both supernatural horror films. It's always kind of hard to compare, you know, those types of movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, the difference between The Nun and, you know, Scream is, like, they're almost different genres. Let's open up HDRI Haven. Let's just get some, like... I want to get some nice general lighting. We're going to create some specific lighting ourselves, but I like to get the color space kind of correct. You know, like the world in which we're living in. I wonder if they've got some nice indoor ones. We're going for like that, kind of like chill environment, guys. Like, look at that. Although that's got some like outside lighting coming in. I almost want something a little darker like this, like a warm restaurant. Although that's probably too warm. Creepy bathroom. Guys, that's the answer. Right there. Creepy bathroom. Although it's not warm enough. I need a split between creepy bathroom and warm restaurant. There's got to be something else. How harsh is the lighting here? If we were to play the shot here... pretty general lighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty soft. It's not super harsh. It is overhead. Studio country. We like it. We like it. Download. Now I'm going to download this to an element folder. Drop that in. And now if we go ahead and load that into our environment, we'll do environmental texture inside of our Blender project and open up our elements folder and our HDRI that we just downloaded. It's going to make everything very bright, but we can adjust that accordingly. Don't like it. I don't like it. All right, and that's fine. We found out very quickly. This is empty playroom. I don't want anything with like windows. I think we want it to feel kind of claustrophobic. Maybe creepy bathroom is the answer. We're gonna try creepy bathroom. I just got to do it, man. Got to do creepy bathroom. Scream has too many episodes about a random guy calling people in their house wearing, I don't know what it's called, and killing them. True, it is a lot of the same thing over and over again. That's fair. You defended your point, and I respect it. All right? All right, so that's getting closer to that. Let's swap that over to GPU. No wonder it's taking so long to actually preview anything. I was on CPU, guys. All right. This is certainly closer to the environment that we want. It gives us like kind of like a nice rough lighting of what we're going for here. But we're gonna customize quite a bit of stuff here too, because like we want some more, you know, uplights on this back wall here. Probably add in like a 3D cursor down there, and we can. What I like to do is just start adding in my favorite light inside of Blender, which is some nice area lights. I like to get a little creative with these, you know, sometimes. We're gonna go ahead and just scale that out over here. We're just gonna only be affecting these back walls. Once we add in like, you know, creatures and whatnot, we'll have those in a separate collection. But to keep those separate, let's keep this collection up here called set. Oh, that's set. Our camera here. Probably want to move our camera to our camera collection. Everything else here is fine. And I think these are... What is that? Oh, that's our ceiling. Let's move that to the set. What are these? These are fires. torch 1, torch 2. Create a new collection called effects. And we're going to move both of our torches to that effects collection. Now, that is correcto mundo. Okay? Our reference stays inside of our reference. All right. Now, this light here, let's just extend this out a little bit. I'm going to create a little bit more of a warm kind of like background. And we really don't know until we start adding materials in how warm everything is. And that makes it a little bit more challenging to set up the lights before you have things textured. For me, it's more about the brightness values that we're kind of giving stuff. We're really trying to create kind of like, you know, more of this like dangerous environment that these our heroes are inside of at this moment. And so having a lot of these like deep shadows from an up angle is kind of creepy. And that's what we're going for here, is we're going for that kind of like creepy world. Like we're gonna have all of these like what do they call them, pigmen? They're gonna be standing in the background here. They're not pigmen. What are these guys? I haven't played Minecraft since like 2014, guys. I don't know who these creatures are. These are like those villager dudes, right? Those villager dudes that like are part of the horde that attack you if you do things. I don't even know. Scream is like Saw is the same over and over again. I like the first one, and then it's the same formula. I guess you're right. Villagers is what they are. You think they're not villagers, dude. These can't be villagers. Are they villagers? They don't look like village. They look like, I don't even know what they look like. They don't look like humans. All right, villagers are human. Villagers are human. Okay, that's what it is. We're gonna make it a little more red, I think. Really kind of like adjust all of this stuff a little bit more later. I like these torches. We probably want to make them a little more red themselves. Inside of our shader panel here, let's add in a hue. All right, actually, what is the best way to do this? We have a constant or RGB. Let's grab an RGB and then set the value to a red. And then we're going to use a mix color node before that color. And this can just get plugged directly in there. Although I suppose we could have just changed the value there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a multiply. Just keep that value all the way up there. This will allow us to adjust how much red we want on these flames. It's looking good to me. Those look like redstone torches, though. You know what I'm saying? Look like redstone torches. Martyrs, right? Oh, are they called martyrs? Thanks, Veeth. Veeth knows. Veeth's the gamer in the group. Veeth's the gamer. Oh, man. All right. And then in this foreground here, I mean, we kind of know that what we also want is more top-down, kind of like directional lighting on this entire rink location. I'll probably lift that up a little bit further. And then it's going to feel more like there's a light directly above them. That maybe is even slightly angled. I don't know. Ooh, we could probably do a little bit, not too much. And then that way, the lighting should feel a little bit more harsh. You know, it's like a top-down situation going on here. Probably make this slightly tinted. Ravagers. And let's actually, yeah, we're gonna angle this much more in this direction. And then on this side here, let's we're gonna add in another light, the area light. We're just gonna do a negative value on this side. So scale that up and then keep that white because we don't want to suck out a specific color, but then do it like a -2. And then what this is going to do is it's going to suck out the white color light from this angle over here. Oh my god, can I light it? Hey, shut up, we're getting there. You can light it though. Just subscribe to the Patreon. You can download the files yourself. Boom. That is a advertisement. And then once we add in a lot of the textures over here, actually I'm thinking, let's see, let's delete this real quick. Let's also add in a plane. Scale that up onto this side over here. Make that a little more imposing. I mean, we're not going to see too much from that side of the camera, so I'm not too concerned about it. This now, we're going to go ahead and call this a flag, and we'll change the base color value to a black. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. I'm going to create a new collection, and we're just going to call this lighting. Now, this guy here, we'll go ahead and just grab this plane and move him over into our lighting thing. One thing is we can turn on indirect only and then make sure that is selected. You're now no longer going to be able to see that over there. Even if the camera did look in that direction, you wouldn't see the plane because the plane is indirect lighting only. It's not actually going to be full-on lighting. That looks a lot better and closer to what we wanted from that negative light. I don't know why I just didn't do that in the first place, but there you guys go. It's a lot of trial and error. We're getting there slowly but surely. Alrighty then, let's see. Inside of our environment, we don't really have too much. Kind of want to go for more of an edge light on this side of things before we get into doing some 3D modeling, guys. Let's do another light over here. Nice little edge light on our actor. We're going to take this whole thing and then just bevel it up a little bit. So that way we get more edges on it that we can see from the... bevel that actually quite a bit. Want to see more edge light as we're working on it. This guy right here is adding kind of like this edge on our actor, and it's going to be kind of like that white edge that's going to distinguish it from the background over there. We do want it to be more of like a white value. Cancel that. What am I doing? A whiter value on that. I think the overhead light that we have up here, we could probably increase that a bit. I think that looks pretty good. The other thing we're gonna do moving forward is probably using a lot of these linked groups. You can do this over inside of your light linking settings on your light bulb here. You can actually select specific collections that you want to utilize rather than using the entire thing. So, for instance, if I go under our object settings right here, you can change the visibility preset available ideas of like what type of things that it's affecting, but you can also adjust the collections that it's affecting as well. So our area light, for instance, if we select that guy, the shading options and the light linking options, we can say, hey, we only wanted to select our set, so that way it's not actually going to be affecting our character, or we could say we only want it to be affecting our character but not the set. And that gives you a lot more control over the what your lights are doing and not then overall affecting everything. Because maybe we want the environment to feel a little bit different. I mean, you don't want to push it too far, but it's a lot better doing that than trying to comp that stuff later. So for right now, though, I mean, we're just kind of like doing some overall adjustment lighting. We're not really trying to get too crazy right now. Okay. I also have a plugin here. I mean, we can mess around with this later, but this is a lens sim. Create lens sim, convert to lens sim camera. Interesting. The f-stop's currently set to 1.2. This is an 85mm lens. What other presets they got? Zeiss. We always use the Zeiss in real shots that I do. Oh, that's pretty sweet. I like that. I do like that, guys. Let's see. 55 Zeiss planar. Nice. Okay. We're going to keep that for right now. We're going to be using the lens simulator add-on inside of Blender. I've been wanting to use it on one of these renders coming up. And you know what? This is going to be a great render to do so. All right, let's get into doing some 3D modeling today. We're at least going to make the zombie, all right? I don't think we're going to finish everything today, more than likely not, because, you know, I don't want to. But certainly wanted to get that going here, and then that way we have that going for us. We either make the character today or we do all the shading. But I feel like if we 3D model the character today, that'll make me happy, because you know what? We're making a chicken jockey. All right, so let's turn off our set. Let's go ahead and turn off our reference. We can keep that for right now. Camera, let's turn off effects, and then let's turn off lighting. I'm just gonna go over to our non-3D view here. I should probably turn off our reference for right now as well. Turn off our camera. We're gonna just turn off everything. We're going to create a new collection, and we're going to call this character. This character layer here, we're going to go ahead and now add in a sphere, more than likely. I think that's probably the move. Although maybe starting from a cube is really the answer. Normally I like to start from the sphere, but you know what? We're doing cubes today, baby. Keep this reference image up over here so I can see how bad my thing looks as we're going along. We're just going to start with the face. Let's see. Under modifiers, I'm going to use a multi-resolution modifier. Go ahead and just subdivide that a few times here. Now we're going to get ourselves a squarish looking sphere. That's a good starting place. I'm going to just join right, please. And let's see. I mean, honestly, remove the multi-res. Start out by making him not so circular. Use a subdivision surface. You're advanced modeling a ton for just an hour of streaming. I've advanced modeling a ton. Oh, thanks. I mean, we did the whole environment basically. I mean, we have to do the rope kind of still. But you know what? It's fine. We'll get to it. All right. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. I'm going to just subdivide this a few times. And that's going to give us kind of like this, this sphere that we already have. I'm going to apply that. And now we can go into some 3D modeling here. All right, guys. Let's open up our sculpt settings, and we're gonna start doing it. Okay, we're gonna start smoothing things out. That's the trick here. It's just pretending like we know what we're doing. We got like kind of like this chin smiley thing going on here. Oh, he's so cute, guys. He's so cute. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and blob out kind of like the chin here on the bottom, and let's see, blob out like that as well. We're just really trying to create a little bit of the kind of facial structure that he's got going on here. All right. And then let's use a little bit of a subtraction blob here for the eye location. We can add in some more details on that stuff later. I am not doing this in symmetry right now, just because I'm lazy. And you know what? I'm also not lazy at the same time, which is why I'm doing it this way. Can I extend this upwards? Yeah, let's do that. His face is a little tall, isn't it? Like it's supposed to be a little taller. Use the, let's see, that's clay. Elastic grab. Elastic grab reminds me of Elastigirl from, Elastigirl from, why is my brain going blank? The Incredibles. There you guys go. Took me a while to get there, but I did get there. I'm not completely too far gone yet. Let's put the smile into this guy over here. We're just gonna try to really create, you know, a little cute guy. All right, he's got a cute guy. You guys smile to him. All right, we're gonna do another probably multi-resolution. You need to watch this. What do I need to watch? Did you send a link? You're not allowed to send links. There's no links allowed, man. It's a live stream chat. But you know where you can share links. You can share them on the Discord. So if you're part of the Discord, go join the Discord right now. Share it in the Discord. We got ourselves, honestly, this is the easiest nose that I think that I'll ever have to do. It's got more of a kind face to it. You know, it's not supposed to be mischievous, which is coming off as a little mischievous right now. Let's not go mischievous on it. And then let's see, let's create some of the wrinkles up here. Oops, that's a little big. Probably subdivide that again. And he's got like both an old man face and a young man face at the same time. Is that possible? And then let's see. Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit more elastic grabbing here. Let's try to position the overall eye to more of a grab there, you know what I'm saying? Tighten up some of that as well. And then now, yeah, where's that crease option? Let's go ahead and crease some of this. A bit of a lip to him too. Get that other crease. Like a plus in that, right? Less strength. I don't want that crazy strength value, you know what I'm saying? Less strength. Some nice dimples, you know what I'm saying? Like some cute little dimple action here. Oh, some very square face. Like, let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Flatten. I kind of want to scrape almost, you know? Like, we're just getting rid of some of the edges here. Not so sharp. increase that strength, I think, a bit. Okay. A good start. A noble start, as they say. Not good enough. We're getting there, all right? Not good enough, but we're getting there. You need a... This needs to be, like, way smoother. Like, by a factor of, like, 50, all right? I don't want the eye to be adjusted. Let's just smooth this out. Honestly, we could even use the Elastigrab for most of this back here. We're just going to start to really bring things in. Let's see. Let's give him more some shape on the outside of his face here. And then just really bring that in. Yeah. Then on the back here, we're just going to really smooth that out. I'll use the smooth tool back here. And then can we set this to like a 50 value? 10 is the highest it goes. Yeah. We want the opposite of a crease. You know what I'm saying? We want to smooth that thing. There we go. That actually kind of works. And then we smooth it. A little bit of a tall head. It was because I grabbed everything in the beginning to pull it kind of up. But let's go ahead and shorten his head again. And bring everything down and up. I feel like we're getting there. I'm very concerned. Not really. A little bit. All right? Just a little bit. You know, a real kind of cool trick we could do with this as well is... Let's see. Let's save this. Because I want this to be more accurate to the image. Let's create a new camera. Under our character settings here. Select our character. Let's create a new camera. We're going to set this camera to roughly about right here, probably. And let's go ahead and then load in... Let's see, what are we guessing here? 30. It's going to be the focal length of this specific shot. Maybe a nice 40. That looks pretty accurate. And then our background image now, we're going to call this camera character ref. Character reference cam. And then we're going to load in this texture that we created. Okay. Probably located in our ref. Load that in. Boom, boom, boom. We'll do fit. And then let's just grab this thing. And put the 3D cursor there. We're going to rotate around the 3D cursor. And we're going to try to align this character with our reference image as much as possible. And then that'll make everything a lot easier when it comes to, you know, making adjustments and matching everything. So let's do that now. So there's our eyes. Probably let's line the chin up, and then we can make everything according to that. Okay, great. Now in sculpt mode on this guy, let's go ahead and make some adjustments. So we already kind of know that our eyes are pretty dang high. So let's just grab everything and then move it down. Just trying to get the proportion. I did this on the Inside Out character model that we did a little while back, guys. Basically did this number. Now it's mostly because you know, we're going to be making this into a position that was probably that it's not a riggable position. So honestly, this is like not ideal, but this is what we're doing. All right, Marvin, Connor, yes, what's up, buddy? Oh, I like that. That's looking good. Get these character proportions a little bit better. His smile is a bit tall and wide. Discord. What, the thing you said? What did you send? What did you send, Marvin? We're gonna look it up. It's a YouTube short. I am Steve. What? Why am I watching this? We're spoiling the movies here a little bit, right? It's Steve. Steve. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet. New Gen, welcome in. How you doing today? Hear the audio? I can't hear the audio, unfortunately. Like, the way my system is set up is I can't hear anything right now. When I live stream, I can't hear anything. So it makes it a little difficult to watch videos. I'm not a reaction streamer. Crap, copyright. Yeah, no, yeah, it does make it a little difficult. Remember you? New Gen. Oh no. Maybe. Possibly. How long has it been? Or are you someone else that I know that's just changed their name on me to try to confuse me? Guys, this is looking. We're getting some of the proportions right here. That's all that matters. It's about almost a year. Well, how you been, buddy? Where you been? It's been a busy year, though, dude. This has been a busy year. Can't be angry about it. This last year for me has been pretty crazy. Let's see. We're just trying to get that out. Ooh, I like that. Now we just got to do the ears a bit. And I think we're killing it, dude. We're killing it. And I'm pretty happy with how that's positioned now. Let's do the sculpt a little bit more on the eyes on the inside here. And then, of course, we're going to do the nose as well, which is just about right down there. Guess who you are? I don't know. New Gen. I don't know, man. I had a few people that I haven't seen in a bit, actually. I think just life's gotten, you know, life gets crazy. And so I don't know. I don't know. You could be any number of people. Who are you? Did you change your name? Well, that doesn't help. You're making it difficult now. Now I gotta figure out what your name is as well. Let's actually add in another subdivision here now. Just gonna smooth this out a little bit more. And then let's use a little bit of a grab. Just a little bit of grab, just a little bit of a grab, just to create kind of like that. You know what's funny is I've never changed my name on YouTube. On any of my YouTube accounts. I've always just kept them. Let's do clay creasing. And then let's do a subtraction on that to create some of these wrinkles here. And we're just creating some of these wrinkles that the zombie has, guys. A little older zombie. It's an older baby zombie. Okay, it starts with Y and ends with O. Two letters word. Yo. It's a two-letter word, starts with Y and ends with O. Yo. That's what your name is, right? It's Yo. Way less smoothing, please. Do a 0.4 on that, I think. Just smooth out the edges here a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And then back to the creasing. Oh, that's... Oh, see, crease polish, crease sharp. Gotcha. It is yo. 2 letters. Nope, your new name's Yo, man. That's what it is. Forevermore. Let's add some of the wrinkles back up here for the eyebrows and stuff like that. It's like a eyebrow kind of thing. Yeah, it's your new name in the stream. Forevermore, everybody will just call him. We're just calling you Yo. I don't make the rules. Yeah, I kind of do. But, you know. I'm just going to add the general kind of like shape of everything there and then just kind of smooth things out. Oh, come on. Now I have to spoil your name. Yeah, it's your name, buddy. I have thousands of people that come through here. I don't have everybody. I can't memorize you based off of something I don't even know what your name was, and now probably if you did say your name I would remember it because I do remember people that chat. But it's not like I could just guess based off of nothing. Anemo? Oh, I guess, yeah, but you said it starts with Y and ends with O. Oh, you're Anemo. Was your name in chat your Anemo? I thought it was just Anemo. You know, I probably could have guessed that it was Anemo. Because you're the only one that ever comes in with new names and then asks me to remember if I know who you were. But now you're Yo, so that's your name. What's up, Yo? How you been? It's not you. You're right. It's not Y-O-O. It's yo. Let's go with W-yo. Oh, that's funny. I like it. I like it, guys. Gonna make these lips a little bit sharper here. And probably using the grab tool here, just giving a bit of a Cupid's lip. Overall elastic grab, we can kind of fix everything out a little bit, smooth it. So yo, how you been? Crease sharp, crease polished. We're gonna do crease polished here. No yo mama Joes. You've been good? That's good. Glad to hear. I don't feel like it's been a year though. Has it been a year? It's crazy. It's been a while, but I don't think it's been a year. Let's create some more on the sides here. I mean, he's got, like, you know, this is an aging zombie, alright, guys? It's an aging zombie. I'll do some more like that. I like that, actually. That looks pretty good. Open up the back here. I don't know, I haven't seen too many different angles of this thing, this zombie character, so kind of making it up as I'm going along here. I like all of that. And probably sharpen that up a little bit up there. And crease kind of more of that. I'm liking that. That looks good, guys. What do you guys think? Little zombie face. Little zombie face action going on right there. Save that. Set that value to 3. The 5090? Yeah, I have. I'm looking into potentially updating my rig at some point. It's although I'm probably gonna have to update even my motherboard if I did that, so I'd probably be updating everything. And that's where things get a little complicated, is I like my computer. I'm not interested in updating everything, but maybe that means I do, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Alright, let's go back over here into the sculpt mode again, and let's use this blob tool here, and we're really going to subtract the inside of this nose. I really like it if we could just make you go in super far, you know what I'm saying? Probably pretty good. Let's swap that back to object mode, and then we're just going to create a plane, I think. Rotate that 90 degrees. And we're just going to scale that down. And that'll be just like a black plane. Probably under our character here, we'll just negative nose. Get new material, and let's just make it full black with complete roughness. That way the nose just looks like a hole. It's just going to be like a black plane, that way you can't see it. Dude, that thing's so powerful. 5090 is basically a jet engine. You hate baby zombies? Why? Baby zombies are cute. Look at this guy. He's so cute. What are you talking about? He's cute. He's a cutie. Baby zombies are cute. What are you talking about? We're fine with it. They're fast and keep killing you when you join Minecraft. Well then, I don't know, man. Get good. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I mean, that's true. Connor, what graphics card do you use? Good question. I forget. Always forget. We'll go to our system settings here. I have a 3080 Ti. It's pretty old, actually. Now it's pretty old, you know? Let's create a new material for the eye. And under our eye settings here, let's see. So we're gonna go set that to render view, and then over here I'm gonna swap this over to a shader editor. We're gonna make some adjustments. Well, first of all, let's add in a we need the pupil of the eye, so probably make a, let's see, our texture. I think it's a gradient texture is what we want. And then we're gonna make this a circle, spherical, if we can. So let's see what that looks like. And then let's use a color ramp. And again, see what that looks like. We're gonna make this pretty small and sharp. Is, whoops, make that edge pretty sharp here. And then we're gonna set up some vector settings here, and then change the location probably of everything. And let's see, his eye's pretty squishy, so we might change the scaling of the X here. Which we can also change the location again. And then, let's see, we'll change this slightly. This is pretty... pretty good, right? I guess it's a little bigger than that, isn't it? Let's change the scaling overall. Boom, baby. That's like the right eye. I don't think just adding this to that eye... Oh, it does line up. Let's go, baby. So we're going to call this eyeball. And on our eyeball here, we're going to basically have two values, a black value and a white value, right? Because we need the outside sclera of the white area and then the pupil color on the inside. And if we basically invert our color value that we currently have, that's pretty close to what we want. But let's not do that. Instead, we're going to create two different textures. So let's call this, let's use a noise texture for the first one. This is going to be the sclera, okay? It's a pretty basic outside white pupil thing, but we're really trying to create like that veiny type effect that you would get on eyes. So let's go ahead and first add in like these rigids here. And then secondly, we're going to add in a color ramp that we're going to then use. And let's create more sharp edges on this these iris moments here, okay? So let's, first of all, let's do that. And then let's just make this really sharp. And then voila, that looks great. Then we're going to do a mix color node now. And we're going to do a few different things. First of all, we're going to set the value to something that a little more fleshy in nature. And then I'm going to do something a little bit more red. And then this color value goes into the factor of those two things. So now you're going to get that. Now, I probably want to invert that, right? So let's go ahead and add in an invert color. So now you got your like nice kind of like white sclera that you got going on for your eyes. And then you've got like these kind of like more red lines that are going to be inside of your eye as well. The baby looks like Herobrine currently does. It does. Yes, you're right. Let's then also let's make this a little darker. Maybe I'm not quite sure. It's looking pretty good like that. Pretty rough texture. Okay. Now that color value then should get plugged into our principled BSDF, like our main kind of base color texture. And that's what we're going to get doing that. And over top of everything, we're going to want everything to be pretty dang reflective, okay? Because it's an eyeball. So we're going to change the roughness here to be reflective, so that way we're going to get some of the, surrounding environment and things like that kind of coming through. Next up, because it's an animated character, I've always noticed that you want to have a little bit of like brightness on the eyes. You don't want them to be completely dark. And the reason why it's not realistic, to have the eyes be suffocatingly dark. You almost want them to be kind of reflective in nature, where they're really kind of like reflecting the world around them. Next up is using a little bit of subsurface scattering. I believe what we're going to want this weight value to be a little bit higher. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll probably do skin value here. So let's lift this value up. This is going to create the kind of like fleshy tones on the eyes. Next up is going to be, there's a few different things. We could use an ambient occlusion. This is going to create a material based off of the lighting of what's around it. And if you use like a color ramp, like so, you can actually increase the amount of brightness that's going to be. This is going to work really well for us because we want to bring down the edges of the light to make it feel, because again, we're bringing the emission up on this, so we kind of want to bring the rest down accordingly. Okay, so let's do that. Let's use a principled BSDF, and we're going to use a little bit of a darker value, probably, and then maybe even a bit more red. And then let's do a mix shader node here, and this FAC, which will then get plugged into that, and then that gets plugged into the top value, because for whatever reason Blender inverts everything, right? So now we're going to go ahead and look at that. Now we've got ourselves a nice eyeball. I do want the roughness on like that darkened outside edges to be a little bit more reflective and probably less dark. So let's just lift that up a little bit. Great. Now I'm pretty happy with the reflectiveness on the eyes. We've got a really nice looking sclera there, but now we need the pupil portion of the eyeball. And we can do that all the way back here. So now we already have our like mat of where those pupils are supposed to exist. We just basically need to adjust what this mixed color value is here. So we do need to add an additional mixed color value on. We've got our A input there, and then we're just going to plug this color ramp directly into our FAC, and then we just need a black value for the rest of the pupil. If you go look at that, you'll see that's what that looks like. Now, that gets plugged into our principled BSDF, which then runs through everything else, and then you're going to get this really nice looking effect here. Now, because of the way that this material looks, it's going to kind of wash out that base color kind of effect that we've got going on there, and we may want to do something ourselves, right? So that's where maybe we create a whole separate principled BSDF, and instead of using another mix color there, we'll just keep that like so. Let's move this entirety of this color ramp all the way over here and plug in another mix shader. Whoops, I think I just deleted it, but we'll just duplicate that one. It's fine. And then this gets plugged into the FAC. And as you can see, that looks correct so far, but we do want more realism with like how the the pupils are going to be reflecting the environment around it, and we can do that pretty easily. So let's go ahead and add in this principled BSDF here, and there you go. It's now got those kind of like reflections in the eyes, which looks great, guys. It looks great. Now I just want to double check. Sometimes you'll notice that it's going to have like a specularity, like kind of like beam of light that happens on eyeballs, and that looks great. Now we can do that using like real reflective like things inside of our environment, or we can actually fake it, which I love because then we don't have to have any light that's going to be affecting everything else in our shot. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we've got these we already have this, right? Let's just duplicate it. If we go view it real quick, let's see what it's doing. Let's go ahead and set the scaling here to something a lot smaller. We actually set the scaling of a value of like 0.2 into our scale completely. And then now we just need to find our spot. Let's do a 3. There we go. Just set our great. And then let's just lessen that. Okay, so now we've got ourselves like a little tiny highlight that we're going to be adding in. And what we can do with this is just use another like mix shader. Plug that in to the top value there. And then all we need to do is then plug this matte value into our FAC. And then it allows us to then mix another thing in, right? So let's do like a principal BSDF with like a higher emission value, probably something like that, and that gets plugged into that shader there. And if we go and view that now, you'll notice that we're going to have ourselves a highlight that we're kind of like comping in on the shader graph rather than having as like an actual reflective surface. And that works really well, especially with just getting something that you know will always be there and you're not too afraid of it like falling out. Let's see, make the point light pretty small though. Pretty cool. I like that. We can always make adjustments later, but then that gives it like a nice little bit of a reflectiveness inside of the eyes. There really isn't much more texture on the eye, though if you wanted to, we could totally add a texture to the eye. So just give it a little bit more of can I not? Oh, it's noise texture. So we'd go into this thing here, for instance. Change the scaling of this. Use a color ramp. And then all we have to do is change this value here to something like that. That can get plugged into our base color. And then voila. Now our eyes are going to have a little bit more of a texture to them rather than just being straight black. And obviously you can adjust all of that here. The amount of texture that you're really giving to this thing. It's just your pupil. So that way it doesn't feel so solid. Kind of yellowish with the noise texture. I already did. Actually, I already did that. Though we could do some more. I think. I guess this is what we're feeding into it. But you're right. We could totally do the same thing we just did with the pupil. Just scale this kind of thing up here and use a color ramp and then plugging in the black value here to kind of that, and then the white value here, go to the same color at first but then just make it slightly darker. That's just going to give it a nice little like repeatable noise. Just plug that into the A input there. Boom, baby. Pretty subtle, but totally works. Okay. Let's go ahead and add in our set real quick. Oh, that's actually really funny. I didn't realize how. Yeah. Okay. First of all, let's do this. Let's put our character head in the. I don't know. Do we want to 3D model everything else before we really get into? Need some lights though. Let's under our character here, I'm gonna create a new collection called character lights. And under the 3D viewport here, we're going to add in just a few lights, okay? Just so I can see what the frick I'm doing. First of all, oh, this is kind of frustrating actually because I really like the lights that we have. I just need to. Let's open up our set here and let's grab this light. Reference camera effects. Let's grab all of these lights here. I'm gonna throw them all under character lights, okay? And let's see, we're gonna rotate all of them around. Yeah, like that. And then we're gonna turn everything else off, okay? So cameras, effects, lighting. Beautiful. We go back to our camera view here, and this should at least be pretty close. Wonderful. Make the chicken hairs? Dude, don't even think about it yet. Alright? Well, it's not even now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't what we think about at this moment. We think about how great what we currently have is. Okay? And stop concerning yourself with the future. Oh, dude, no, I've been saving. I've been saving like every 2 seconds. Pretty standard. I just saved again because you mentioned it. But I have been saving. Alright? Been good about that. Let's call this zombie skin. Let's do a nice cool zombie skin. We'll use this as a reference as we're working on it. But let's do that. I want the floor gone. I think that's what we want gone. Bones, extra soldiers, relationships, boom, boom, boom. Let's go ahead and get rid of the X and Y and the floor. And oh, dude, I do have a crush on the Control S. Me and the Control S go way back. You don't even know. Alright? You don't even know. You think you do, but you don't. And that's the thing, man. That's the thing. Alright. We're going to offset the X here just so we can see kind of what we're doing. We're going to try to create ourselves a texture. On a live stream, he said he loves saving. Bro, I love it so much. It's my favorite thing since everything. Do you know that Blender, I know you youngers, okay, don't know how it works. Back in the day, Blender wouldn't save if you clicked the exit button. If you exited the software and you didn't hit the save button first, you lost it all. And there was no recovery button. So you guys can talk all smack you want about how, you know, you save or whatever. Yeah, wait till one of those days happened. And then you'll be like, man, I really do wish that I saved more often. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, all right? Back in the day, all right? Subsurface scattering, we're going to increase that up a little bit. We're going to try to create ourselves a nice little texture here. As much as possible, of course. Probably fill light as well, I'm thinking. Let's get a nice little area light here. Let's turn on extras. Extras, baby. We read all about it. And then let's scale that up by individual origins. And Now you know how old Connor is? Dude, I've told you guys this. I don't have to prove myself anything here, like, back in the day. That little overhead there. Alright. It's feeling a little minty. You know what I'm saying? Just a little minty, in my opinion. And, that's not good. Alright? Trying to make it less minty. What is, like, okay. Suppose we're going to want some kind of, like, material for the actual skin kind of, like, effect that's going on there. I would probably say the subsurface scattering we could set to like a full 1. You know, it just depends on what exactly you want. But we'll probably set that to a 1. It's 0.35 on that. Let's set that to like a 0.15. Let's do like a 1.5. The roughness, though, I don't know, man. It really kind of depends on how much roughness you want here, but probably go with like a nice 0.6. It really just depends on how sweaty this guy is. You know what I'm saying? Let's increase the sheen here to like a 50, and the clear coat, make sure that's a 0. That should be good. The IOR should be pretty good. I'm trying to think here. Our specularity, I mean, I might make this a little bit more rough. And then the saturation on this, a little less saturated, but maybe bring down the values. You can't hear me? Well, it's probably because I'm not talking. I'm stressing, okay? It's nothing but stress. That's all we are doing right now. We're just stressing as we're trying to make a skin shader. It's a lot of stress, man. You don't know, all right? We're trying to match something. Noise texture, okay? Let's look at our noise texture now. Scale that out to a nice, good size, pupil size that skin may or may not have. All right, it's looking good. Okay, and then we're gonna use an ambient occlusion node. All right, let's see what that looks like. It's pretty solid. You failed the April Fool's? Dude, you're like a month late on the April Fool's Day joke. I'm sorry. Let's use a color ramp now. And we're going to increase the amount of this. Actually, increase it quite a bit. It's nice. Okay, great. And then we take that. And then let's use a mix color node. And let's take that value there. And then this value there. And this value there. And bro, we are close. So that's the white values. And you got yourself some nice freckle values. So we'll use another color ramp to make sure that it does map all the way to the white. Maybe even increase the amount of that. There you go. And then now this, just decrease that a little bit. And then all of that, it's going to be kind of like our skin shader, okay? Or our normals bump map for our skin. So we're going to use a normal map. Oh, no, wait. Probably delete that. Let's use a bump map. Plug this value here into the height. Now, if you go view that, you can kind of see what it's going to do. This then can get plugged directly into our normals on our skin. So if we go view that, you can see that it's going to create all of these bump materials all over the entirety of our image. Probably want the strength to be quite a bit lower, but we do want it there just so that it creates kind of like that feeling of a feeling. All right, we're creating a feeling of a feeling, man. Might even use this. I think you have to add this, plug this into a normal map. So, let's see. Maybe not. Normal? No. These normals get plugged into the normal there. You're going to be AFK, away from the keyboard. I like it. I like it. I might want to decrease the strength. I think that's just what our... Just experimenting here with till I find something that I really like. Bro, I invented that phrase. That is a phrase from my generation, okay? Do another mixed color here. And this one, just gonna make sure the green values are selected on that. I'm gonna use the same ambient occlusion. Actually, probably exactly the same ambient occlusion value here. Plug into the FAC. If you go view that real quick, let's go ahead and then set this to be a little bit of a darker value, as you can see. And then that goes into our principal BSDF as a base color value. So now we're going to get a little bit darker kind of effect going on around the eyes and certain things. Let's just change that up real quick. I am thinking the specularity needs to have a little bit more on it. Let's ooh, whoops. Oh, that's the emission. Let's change the specularity effect here to have a higher IOR. And the roughness, let's bring that down a little bit. It's pretty close. I want to make sure that this light that we have on the front here is where things get a little rough. We want to make sure that our, let's see, maybe we use a sun. It's very directional. Just want to try to get some of those hot spots that we're getting on the wrinkles there. Which maybe that's our problem, is our wrinkles are actually going in. So like everything on the face is going in rather than coming out. And that's, I think, creating a bit of an issue here. So let's go back to solid view right now. And then Let's go over here to sculpt mode, and we're just going to blob some of these out. Essentially, those are subtracting in, but we actually want them to push outwards instead of inwards. Yep, so there we go. So let's bring the strength down a little bit. And we're just going to make sure that that is being fixed here. More. Islands here, I guess. Go back over into our modifiers, and we want to subdivide everything, I guess. One more. The value to 4. And just do that, maybe smooth some of it out. Gonna help a lot with the lighting, though. Okay, great. And then let's smooth maybe a little bit more on this edge here. And let's save that, and then go back over into our shader editor and go back to object mode. And probably smooth some of this out. He's got a huge lip here, but we kind of want the lips to come out as opposed to going in. Right now, I feel like he's going there. You know, we want to pucker his lips out a little bit more. Let's go back over to sculpt mode, and let's see. We're gonna just blob it, I suppose. The easiest thing. A little hard when I don't have the settings at the top. I don't know why the settings aren't at the top. But now, let's see, inflate. Is that what we want to do? We want to inflate stuff. Now just using like that elastic grab tool, just like kind of like bringing it out a little bit. Everything looked good from a 2D perspective before, but now we're just kind of like cleaning up some of the 3D parts of it. So, it's okay. We're getting there. Just got that Cupid lip type thing going on here. It's a bit much. Let's grab that. Just smooth that out. I feel like I'm making it worse. There we go. And then we swap this back to render view. Welcome back. Okay, that's a lot better. Now I just need to texture the lips here to have the correct effect going on it. Now these eyes need to feel like they need to be more reflective than they are. Although it's fair to say that this lighting is not going to be the actual lighting, but it is a thing to think about. skin. It's like the wonder if it has to do with this value. Like the subsurface scattering. Yo is back. Let's go, yo. Another thing I'm not necessarily a fan of is the way the current lips are positioned. Hey man, you're the one that said that was your name. Just saying. Back to object mode here. And then let's grab both these eyes and then rotate them on individual origins. I'm gonna rotate them like that. So that way when we go into render view here, oh, he is looking a little bit of ways. Not a fan of, let's go back here to the shader editor. The dots that we're doing on the skin, I'm kind of thinking that we need to have a little more highlights. So let's do another mix color here. Just add that in. And let's make these white dots. And this mix value from this guy, let's plug that into the FAC. Now, the color ramp of it, right here. Oh, that's a lot. Let's invert these values. Something like that. So now this is going to have some white dots that are going to be speckled into the skin shader. Is Ben here? No, I don't think so. Not today. He's actually been working a lot recently. Okay, and then let's see the noise texture here. Let's grab this guy. Let's change the scaling now. And that way it's really not that many. I'm actually going to invert this as well. And then we're going to use this in conjunction with another mix color node. Another mix color. And then this value will be a darker value. The FAC gets plugged into there. So now we're going to get some of these kind of like freckles. Going to be dropped all over. Now we really need to get the lips in there. I think the lips are the next big thing. Let's see. So down over here, I want to make sure the saturation is kind of removed from it. and then we can change the ambient occlusion here as well. And actually, funny enough, that same ambient occlusion, we can really adjust the roughness on this as well. Because technically those areas would be more more reflective. So if we take this ambient occlusion, plug this into the color value here, and then plug this directly over into our roughness, should have, or is it not that one? Oh, there it is. This ambient occlusion here, plug this into the color. And these areas would be more reflective. Though actually, I think I want to invert that. Yeah, this would be rougher. Let's do another color ramp. Delete this value. But if we go and view this real quick, the white value here will set to a 0.7. Just the same value as we had before, so like a 0.877. And then the black value here does go all the way black, and then this can get plugged directly into the roughness. So now these areas will definitely be way more reflective. Would you recommend you bump them in the corner of the lips? Would recommend you to bump in the corner of the lips. Yeah, I probably got to add some more dimples. This side is a little better than that side. I think I lost it. Go ahead and save this. Guys, I actually have to go right now, but I think this is going to be a good spot to end for today. We'll fix this face real quick, but then I really do got to go. I'm actually getting a phone call right now from a producer that I'm working with. So we'll just we'll fix this up real quick, and then we'll end the stream here. Let's go ahead and add in. Let's do that. We'll plus it. Really, that's where we're gonna get is the that. Go ahead and smooth some stuff out as well. Go ahead and save that. Probably smooth it out a little bit more, but that is... Yeah, should be same time next week. Been a really productive stream, 100%, dude. I mean, I'm pretty happy with where we're at with a lot of this stuff so far. Real quick, actually, this might actually be an easy way of doing this. I kind of want to get this camera position set up so we can see this in the actual environment. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's add in an empty with a cube. And it's going to be our character, all right? And we'll take all of our character objects that we currently have and then just parent them. Say object keep transform. And then now, if we go ahead and keyframe these here, we're just going to go to a next keyframe here now. We'll go ahead and turn set on. Let's just scale everything down here, rotate it. Realistically, what we're trying to do is let's do this. Camera view, and I want to keep. I hate how nowadays everything should be set perfect. Thank you. Next keyframe, please rotate that, scale it down. There we go. Perfect. So now we do that number. And really what we're trying to do is set this up in a position. Let's see where the reference is. Perfect. Scale it down. Place that like roughly over here. Let's turn on the camera effects and lighting. And then let's go ahead and select our camera now and then make sure that that is our camera that we're viewing. And now if we go to render view, because it's using lens simulation, should be better. So now let's go ahead and disable our... You maybe can't next week? No! Yo, what are we going to do without you? Alright, and now let's do that. Let's select our camera again real quick. Sorry guys, this is I'm just lining things up now. So whatever happens whenever put that in front. Let's do fit, and then let's just position that off X-wise. I think that should be good. Let's scale it too. I just using it as a reference really. And then now let's select our character empty box that we have, and then place that in here. That's good. I think we just need a fill light, and then I'd be happy with what we've got going on here. Probably gonna disable all of our area lights that we have to make sure that none of that is adjusting on us right now. Let's add an additional area light here, just kind of like overhead on him, and increase the intensity now. Oh, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. I think next will be hair. Once we do that next week, we gotta do some grooming. It's looking pretty sweet, guys. So there's our 3D model we've got so far. We'll come back next week and continue the stream. Make sure to subscribe below. I will upload these project files for you guys to use for your own uses up on the Patreon. The link to that is in the description below. Make sure to give this video a like, and of course, make sure to subscribe and all that jazz. But thank you guys so much for joining today. Today was a great stream. It's about a 3-hour stream. I started a little late, but here we are. Next week we'll be back, and we're gonna continue working on our zombie character here, and it'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. Thank you guys so much. Stay creating, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out. You guys have a good one. Bye.